talking on a very different topic to everybody else, talking about writing and complaining about infrastructure. It's a shame that we don't have any of the councillors here today. This is relevant. Push bikes, we've recently revamped our website. We are putting up consultation responses there. Please do either give us your email for our email list so that we give you details of consultations, but please do respond. One of the issues, okay, the BCR plans are becoming increasingly good. We're meeting with at the stakeholders meetings. I think they're getting brilliant. The problem we have is when highways overwrites BCR work. So on the left, we have a section. These are two diagrams of exactly the same location. We've got the BCR consultation from October 2014, and then we've got the BCC Highways consultation from February 2015. You can see that BCR consulted on putting in traffic-free infrastructure under the roundabout. Then BCC decided to fill in the whole thing and give us split cycle crossings. This push bike's picked up. We've taken this to Lucy Trickett, to Victoria Quinn. Hopefully that's gone back to the designers. Have you been consulted on this since by the BCC Highways team? Have they come back to you?
Just to say it's not highways. It's transportation infrastructure. Just to say it's the projects people. So it's not just for people who want to understand a bit. We sort of split over transportation, infrastructure, and planning, and what have you. And then we've got highways, and they're the people who sort of manage things.
Okay, so different.
Manage and maintain, and we're the people who sort of change things. Like try to change things.
So the transport, the planning team, did they come back to you after we raised this?
We did have discussions with the engineers over this. I mean, the issue about this is that when we wanted to improve the subways that were there, that was prior to us knowing that we got the pinch point funding. So that sort of came along really after that we consulted on improving what we thought was going to stay there. So then this came along, this pinch point funding. We are very keen to improve the ring road because, in terms of traffic terms, because we want to keep traffic out of the city centre, out of the greater city centre. So, as we,
I agree completely.
So we do want an efficient ring road traffic so that we can.
Did the team come back to BCR?
We have had some discussion with them. Yeah.
I agree completely. I think roundabouts are awful. I think light control junctions are brilliant, but there's different ways to do it. Then at the moment, 21st of June, this consultation finishes. On lane gyratory, we have another scheme here that's a pinch. I think is it a pinch point scheme as well?
I'm not certain.
It's got a specific amount of funding. What happens is you can see we've got a green route coming in and across. Now, if you live in the residential area to the left-hand side, down in the bottom right-hand side, to reach that cycle route, there's no way to do it legally apart from cycling on those roundabouts or pushing your bike on the pavement. Now, this again is not a BCR project. The reason I'm disappointed the councillors aren't here is because it's not really the BCR team's responsibility to do this. But it's very important. The BCR work is brilliant. A lot of it, I think, is brilliant. And I'm hoping that we'll be very pleased with it when it goes down on the ground. But we're finding that other parts of Birmingham City Council are not really seeing cycling as their job. Okay, so what can we do? Consultation finishes 21st of June. Push bikes have drafted up a response. Please have a look at that. The more people who respond to these consultations, the more members of the public who respond and say this is not transformational, this is not aspirational cycling infrastructure, this is not achieving what we need to turn Birmingham into a brilliant place to cycle. Please go back to the designing board. Millions of pounds being spent here, new bridges, new dual carriageways, shared footpaths. footpath cycling as a solution is not aspirational. We need members of the public to go forward, to contact their councillors, to respond to this and to say, this is not sufficient.
Yeah. I'll just say, I mean, we are talking to them, and we are trying to improve it.
Yeah.
So that, you know, that is happening. There's an active discussion with the guys who are designing this and some PCR signing folks, and so we can improve it. What I would say is at the top end on the roundabout, the Stretford Island roundabout, I mean, you've got the Coal Valley route going through there, and as part of BCR work, we're looking to get off carriageway facilities around that to link to some of the other parallel routes. Yeah, there's no doubt it can be improved.
It's not a DCR criticism, because it's not a DCR project. The other issue that we have is in the planning committee. There's a new, this one is from the middle of May. Push Bikes has raised this issue last year with councillors and with planning, and it's happened again. There's a new student development next to University of Birmingham. The developers have gone to the planning officers and said, do we really need to build cycle parking to your specifications? Students don't want to cycle. Look, the development's next to the university. They walk from development to the university. They don't want to cycle. Let us save some money. Ignoring students need to cycle to work, cycle to the city centre, cycle out into the countryside. You can't do that if you don't have cycle parking. So, this is from the report done by the officer. The council's special planning policy recommends minimum of one cycle space for 4 beds. The development has half of that. But that's okay, because in the future there's space to put in double cycle parking if demand shows it. Developer will never do that. Let's not kid ourselves. That's not going to happen. This is the same issue that Push Bikes has raised previously, and I'm a bit disappointed. I'm very disappointed that we're having to raise this again. And you can see Section 106 money, £84,000 for car parking. Car parking, £84,000 from that developer for car parking. Okay, this new development will have car parking implications. £84,000 for cycle parking would build some damn good cycle parking.
Could I just raise that this isn't a University of Birmingham?
It's not a university. And the University of Birmingham did put in some objections to it. Yes. It's not University of Birmingham, it's private student. Again, we need all parts of BCC to be on board with the cycle revolution. BCR team, great. Great training, infrastructure is really aspirational in a lot of places, but unless the whole of Birmingham City Council gets on board, we're going to be working at loggerheads. There's going to be cross messages. So, write to your councillors, complain to them. Watch your Push Bikes website. We are going to increasingly put consultations on there. Do respond saying that this isn't good enough. We need to be aspirational. We need to aim higher. Please do have a look at that. A shame that we don't have councillors here today. Moving on a different note. Now, BCR next phase, you've got the green travel districts, yes? And the green travel districts spotted around Birmingham are going to have funds available to do small works, little bits, to improve cycling around. And you're seeking suggestions, aren't you?
Yes, we probably are. Yeah.
So, Push Bikes, from the stakeholders meeting a couple of weeks ago, it was said they want suggestions. Does Push Bike have suggestions? Well, we have some suggestions, but we don't know the whole city. What we recommended and what we're trying to push is Cyclescape, which is an online mapping tool where you can go in and you can say, here is a little bit of infrastructure that's just a change, a drop curb, put in a bollard, make it one way, put in contraflow cycling. Just a minor little change would really help to make this a better place for cycling. So what we would like people to do is to go onto Cyclescape There's a blog article explaining how to do it. We've got a Birmingham group, we've got a Solihull group. Go on, start to put in all of the little things that really bug you, all of the little infrastructure changes that you want to be made. And we're going to encourage the BCI team to dig out stuff that they can then spend money on. And this would be a really useful.
A very good point. I've had an email through from Cycle Campaign saying something about their altering the security settings. I didn't quite understand it. Do we just ignore that?
If there's questions, pass those on to me or go onto the Push Bikes website and contact us, and we'll try to, if you've got some issues with setting up, we'll try and help you with that. Or do let me know or let us know and we'll try and help you. I don't know immediately.
I did have a look at it and just ignored it.
Yeah.
So please do go on. We're trying to get a lot of contributions on there. This will be really useful for the BCR team in terms of gathering ideas, the little things that can be done.
Can I just add something to what you said there? Look, before the elections we did a little survey of candidates and there did seem to be a positive response from councillors saying that they would be prepared to support little schemes that link two bits of infrastructure together to allow you to cycle it rather than meeting a cycling brick wall.
I think, and also we're hoping to run another campaign next election where we'll contact candidates and say, in your local ward, here are some bits of infrastructure changes. Will you commit to make campaigning for those if you get elected? Cyclescape would make our jobs a lot easier if we've got lots of suggestions across Birmingham. We can pick out stuff in every ward. Okay, that's it.